you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Courtney. Today I have got 3 Dollar Tree DIY porch decor items for you, and I'm very excited for today's video because it is a collaboration with Jennifer from Little Bit of Common Crazy. If you are not familiar with her channel, she has a great channel. She's a Texas girl like me. She does budget-friendly DIYs, thrift store makeovers, Dollar Tree hauls, and she has this or that series that she does, which is awesome. So please go check out her video when you're done watching mine to see what she creates for her porch with Dollar Tree items. And if you're from Jennifer's channel, welcome. I love to do budget-friendly DIYs, decor items. I kind of have a farmhouse vibe going on in my house, so I do a lot of those type DIYs. A lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff is on my Facebook group and Instagram. I'd love to have you there. I host monthly challenges on my Facebook group, as well as do shout outs at the end of some of my videos, which you will see a few at the end of this video from my followers on Facebook, where they have created projects and shared their creativity with me, and then I like to share it with you guys. So without further ado, let's get in today's project, and please remember to go check out Jennifer's channel. Let her know you're from my channel, and if you're from Jennifer's channel, please say hi. I would love to say hi back. So let's get into today's project. Okay, I'm going to start with my wreath, and the first thing I'm going to do is taking some Waverly white chalk paint. I'm going to paint the center circle of this little sign here that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I like the black and white check. They do have different versions and colors and all that stuff, so I am going to leave the background black and white and just put 3 coats of white chalk paint on the circle. Okay, I do apologize for being out of frame for this next little part, but basically what I'm doing here, if you just watch my shadow on the table, is I'm taking a round wire wreath form from Dollar Tree and I'm simply snipping off the outer ring and the little tabs. All right, and this is what the wreath form looks like once it's all snipped up here, and now I'm gonna get ready to apply my moss rocks. All right, so I ended up purchasing 5 bags of these moss rocks. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to start by putting the moss rocks around the inner circle of the wreath form, just using some hot glue. I do like to use the Gorilla hot glue because I do feel like it gives a little bit of a sturdier hold, but you could certainly use whatever type of glue you want, or E6000 if you really wanna make sure it's permanent. So like I said, I'm just gonna go kind of putting them against each other all the way around the inside of the wreath form. And just like that, my inner rim is done. You'll see right here, there is a little gap right there. I'm pointing it out to you. I'll show you in a second how I plan to fill that because their moss stones were a little too big to fit into that space. So now I'm ready to start working on the outer rim of the wreath form. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the moss stone and I'm going to stick it just like this, staggered between the rocks, and again attaching with hot glue, go all the way around until the outer rim is complete. The outer rim is all finished. I was able just to go all the way around without having to do what I'm doing right now, which is basically I'm taking a moss stone and I'm cutting it up, and I'm kind of making my own little custom size stone by gluing these 2 little pieces together. And then I'm going to kind of roll it around, because if anyone has worked with these moss stones, right here you can see all the little green fuzz. I'm just kind of smashing it down in there to cover up where some of the white styrofoam may be showing. And then I'm just going to glue it into that little spot right there where I had my gap. Oh, the joys of glue strings. All right, so what I'm going to do now very quickly is I'm going to go ahead and kind of reinforce the back by just putting some glue on the back of the wreath. This is also going to help because my front door does have a glass window in it, and so by putting this glue on it, it's actually going to kind of help pad and keep the metal from banging on the door, because my kids don't seem to have any concept of closing the door gently, so that'll kind of help with that. All right, I'm gonna clean up this moss right in here that's all over my table with my little vacuum, and then I'm gonna be ready to work on that little sign that I showed you guys in the beginning. Okay, so there's my sign with 3 coats of chalk paint on the little circle there. So what I'm gonna do is take some of the poster letters from Dollar Tree. If you can't find these, you certainly could just stencil one or print one off and Mod Podge it on. But I'm gonna take the G, since that stands for my last name, and I'm simply going to try to center it the best I can in the middle of this circle. And then I'm going to take some Mod Podge and I'm going to Mod Podge over the G to seal it, protect it, and I'm also going to Mod Podge the back of this frame. I wasn't quite sure how sturdy the black and white check, it felt like kind of paper to me, so I'm going to go ahead and put Mod Podge all over the back of this as well, just to make sure it's nice and sealed since it will be outside. All right, and now back to the wreath. So I'm gonna add some of this Queen Anne's lace, and I really like these because they have a bunch of just little buds that are the right size that you need, and you simply can just pull them off. They had other colors, purple, white, and all I'm gonna do is just pull off little buds, and then in between the 2 sections of moss stones, I'm just gonna kind of jab these little buds in between there. And one thing about yellow, if you didn't know, is our real estate agent told us that yellow does something to people's brains where it kind of stimulates and makes you feel welcome. It's a welcoming color. So if you're ever going to list your house, put yellow flowers on your porch, because apparently that's supposed to help. So like I said, I'm going to go around and just put some little yellow buds in here, and then I'll be almost ready to finish up this wreath. I'm going to go ahead and attach my sign. So I'm going to take a piece of twine and make a loop at one end, and I'm basically just going to wrap it around the top of the wreath form, pull the 2 little tails through, and that's going to be what my sign hangs from. And then I'm simply just going to take some hot glue and attach this to the back of my sign. And right now I'm kind of figuring out how I want it to hang, but I decided I just want the strings to hang straight down. I'm going to tie a little knot here just so that I can make sure the strings are taut and that they're even. And like I said, I'll put some hot glue down and then smash my sign down, and then I am almost done with this wreath. All right, I'm just gonna snip off that little knot, and then again on the back, reinforce with hot glue. But again, this is kind of to protect this thing from hitting my glass on my front door. So once that's done, then all I'm gonna do is take a piece of twine and I'm going to tie a little bow, and then I will add the bow to the front of the wreath, and then this project is finished. The finished product. I really do like how it turned out, and I just used some nautical rope to hang it up. So with that being said, let's move in to the next project. For this next project, you're going to need some sort of sign from Dollar Tree. I had one of these left over, so that is why I'm using this. Plus, I kind of like this little banner look. This sign is going to be hanging on a post by my front door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make this sign look galvanized. And I saw recently on a channel called The Stokes Life, she made a sign using foam board and tin foil to try to get a more galvanized look. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try that myself and see how it works out. So basically all I'm doing is taking a piece of this foil. This foil from Dollar Tree is really thin and it rips very easily. So, I mean, you definitely get what you pay for here. But I'm going to make it to where it's big enough to cover the sign. And I'm going to attach it using Mod Podge. So I'm just going to brush the front of it with Mod Podge, stick it down on the foil, and then brush the back and Mod Podges that as well. So I'm just going to kind of cut this down to size so that it fits, and then I will Mod Podge it onto this little banner. my banner to be a little bit more three-dimensional, so I cut down a piece of spare foam board that I had. And basically doing the exact same thing, I'm going to attach the foil to the foam board using Mod Podge. Now, there is a shiny side and a dull side to this foils. I use the shiny side facing out. I really don't know if there's a difference, to be honest, because I haven't done it the other way. But if you do try that, let me know. But in the end, it works out really great. But like I said, shiny side out is what I'm doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and cover this, and then I'm going to attach this piece of foam board to my banner. Now I'm ready to paint, so I'm going to take some painter's tape and go ahead and tape off the black wooden top and bottom of this banner because I do want those to stay black. And then I'm going to use Waverly chalk paint, and I'm going to brush it on with a foam brush, and I only end up doing one coat of the Waverly chalk paint on the sign. And one of the neat things about working with tinfoil is when you paint over it, as you can see, I kind of wanted it to look crackled and cracked, and since the tinfoil is like that on the top part, it does give that effect. But you can definitely make it smooth as well, so it is actually kind of a neat thing to work with. After the white paint is dry, I'm going to take some of this brown cream wax that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to dry brush on this, kind of concentrating heavily in the corners and the edges, and I'm just going to brush it all over the sign. And the camera doesn't really pick it up, but you can see the aluminum through, and it definitely does have a galvanized look, so I'm very happy with how it's turning out so far. And I'm just going to go through and brush all the brown on here. And then I decided to also go through and brush on a little bit of the Elephant Waverly chalk paint just to kind of add a little bit more depth to the sign. I'm going to be taking these poster letters again, and this is kind of where I had a little bit of an oopsie moment. So because I wanted to make this three-dimensional, the welcome would have fit on my banner without the little three-dimensional foam board feature. But once I started messing with this, I realized welcome would not fit. So then I said, let's try the word hello. Well, guess what? It wouldn't fit either. And so that's how I ended up with hi, which I'm totally fine with. You got to roll with the punches. But just take that into consideration. Yeah, so here I'm realizing it's just not gonna work. Once the letters were on, I took the foam brush that I used to paint the sign white and dipped it in my Mod Podge. And what that did was kind of put a little bit of white across the letters, but then also sealed them on, just like I did for the G on my little sign on the wreath. And then once this was all nice and sealed up, I decided I wanted to wrap some twine around the top and the bottom of the sign, and then make the hanger out of twine as well. is the finished product. I just have it hanging on a post that I made a while back. And now let me get into this last little DIY. It's very easy to do. So I am a plant serial killer. So what I did was take some of this Scotchgard fabric protector, and I picked up a whole bunch of daisies from Dollar Tree. There they are. I feel like Dollar Tree's killing it with their florals this year for spring. And I just sprayed this over it. This basically will help them stay alive, so to speak, but it does make them last longer. And I also did spray this over my green moss stone wreath. So let's take a look at the finished product. And here is the final look of my porch with the flowers, wreath, and sign. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please stay tuned for some DIY shoutouts from my Facebook group. And if you're from Jennifer's channel, I hope you will stick around and hit that subscribe button. And my subscribers, please remember to go check out Jennifer's video. Her link is in the description box, and she's fantastic. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.